Hello, my beautiful children of the stars. You know that we are more than just normal humans walking this earth, and you can already see the guest that I have today for you is actually a being from the stars and a real mermaid. This is Aishra.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Today we're going to talk about remembrance, the soul's journey, who we really are at soul level. And you know that on my YouTube channel, the theme is remembering who we are, looking at our roots, and we are starseeds. So, Aishra, welcome. I said that you're a mermaid, right? And
Yeah.
is that really true? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've always been a watery being. I am a water sign, Cancer as my sun sign, and yeah, I just always had a love and an affinity and felt really home in the water. And through my journey, it's actually been more recently that I've gotten closer and embodied more of my mer self. Um, yeah,
Merself?
my
Yeah.
mer self.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was very connected to my fairy roots for many years, which I still am. But yeah, I would say through my journey of remembering, my connection with Lemuria and the stars,
Mm-hmm.
whales and the dolphins, and just coming, yeah, more into like who I've always been,
Mm-hmm.
it has brought me closer to the mermaid side of myself.
Aha.
Mhm.
Beautiful. And there we're jumping right in to the theme of remembering. And you know that in today's world, we have to know who we are. Like today's world is so confusing. There's so much negativity out there. There's a lot going on. And in order not to lose ourselves, it's so important to get back to our soul essence and remember who we are. And we know that we are so much more than just humans. And the star lineages, the deeper remembering of who we are from the stars, it's something that you and I have in common a little bit. And my friends, if you haven't heard about this, if you think, what are they talking about? Be open, right? We know that we are a soul incarnate in this human body with an eternal history. We are eternal souls. So just be open a little bit if you haven't heard about these things, if you don't know about star lineages, if you maybe don't know if you're a starseed or not. But in this conversation, maybe you will start to activate some memories, okay? Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you go just a little bit deeper and help you activate those old memories, those paths that your soul has taken from a long time ago. And the interesting thing is you mentioned already Lemuria, you mentioned um, the stars, you mentioned mermaids. So the interesting thing is we know that our souls are ancient and come from the stars. And we also know that the blueprints that we hold are not only human blueprints. And this is real. It might sound like a fairy tale, but this is real. And what kind of connects you and I are the old lineages and blueprints of the water beings. You mentioned water, right?
Mhm.
And just as you have kind of started, when did your journey of remembrance start? Like, has it been a long time? Have you always known?
My journey of remembrance, I would say, started when I was very young.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Throughout my life, there has been almost these breadcrumbs, these
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
information, these synchronicities, these
Mm-hmm.
signs, um, Lemuria popping up here and there, my
Mm-hmm.
affinity for ancient civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I would read about it, I would have deep resonance. And that's
Mm-hmm.
really what just made me like know that there was truth there was
Yeah.
the resonance within me.
Hmm.
But I have a couple of fun things to share on remembrance. And
Hmm.
yeah, so these things I think for both of us,
Yeah.
it's not like we were born and then from a young age we just like remembered everything.
No, no.
There are a couple of special people out there like Matthias de Stefano that
Hmm.
have that experience. But
Yeah.
for me, I guess if we just remembered everything right away, it would be overwhelming for our
Oh,
system and
yeah.
so society.
Yeah.
So remembering is a journey, and it's the soul's unique journey. So no matter
Hmm.
where you are, it's
Hmm.
perfect, beautiful.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'll show this photo. It's a drawing. And when I was in kindergarten, so I was 4 years old, I was given this piece of paper and it said, when I grow up, I want to be blank. And I drew nurse, so a healer,
Yes.
and I had a space to draw a picture. And I drew a hospital with a person lying down on the hospital bed with blue tears coming from their face, and a dog and a frown, and a
Hmm.
dog next to them with a smile, and they're the
Hmm.
only one in the room. So this was a representation of me like knowing I would be a
Hmm.
healer,
Hmm.
um, and assisting in the emotional healing that happens when humans and animals come
Hmm.
together. So I'll just share this really quickly.
Wow. Let
Okay,
me put on my glasses.
yeah, here is the hospital, the person lying down.
Wow. You still have that.
I still have
You
it. Yeah.
kept it. That's so
Well,
beautiful. Show it again. Show it again. Show it
yeah.
again. I didn't let people
Okay.
see it more. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I
Wow.
would say,
Beautiful.
whenever I was really young, like I knew
Mm.
that and I forgot that.
Hmm.
And my teacher kept it. She gave it to my mother. And then years pass. In eighth grade, I got assigned another career project. I picked marine mammal training, and I
Hmm.
didn't grow up anywhere near marine mammals. I'd never seen them in real life. And that's when my love and obsession for them started. And from there on, it only grew and grew every day.
This
By
is
the
so interesting. Sorry, let me quickly say something. I just remembered before I forgot. I haven't told you this. My very first job I ever had in my life in Canada when I was like 16 was at the Marine Mammal Park, working with whales and working with what are they called? Working with different marine animals,
Mhm.
feeding them. Like I was 16, it was a holiday job, and I wanted to go there. That was the first job I ever had, you know? So
Mhm.
that's, I just remembered that. So that's kind of interesting. Sorry,
I love
carry on. No,
that.
seals, seals. I was
Oh.
feeding baby seals who
Mhm.
didn't have mothers, and we helped them, you know, fatten up until they could be released again. And I worked with killer whales, cleaning the sides and feeding the killer whales. I completely forgot about that, Aishra. It's incredible. I forgot.
That's amazing. That yeah,
Yeah,
so we're like
yeah.
both drawn, right, to these beings. Of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
course, by the time I graduated high school, I knew that I didn't want to work at SeaWorld, but I also didn't want to be a marine biologist. I wanted to
Yeah.
work with an emotional,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know how to do that at that time. So I went to school studying animal psychology, focusing on canine psychology. And
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't until after I had already graduated that school that my mother sent me this envelope that had these drawings. And I just bursted into tears because I was like, wow, I prophesized that I would be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, years go on, and I met my mentor and am now working with whales in really incredible ways, which we'll get into.
Wow.
But another big
Yes.
one last like big remembrance experience for me um, was when one day when I was in water, I was in a spa, like totally by myself in a hot tub, and I was holding my Lemurian record keeper quartz,
Wow.
and
Beautiful.
I was singing. I'm a singer, so I was just
Mm-hmm.
letting music flow through me. I was channeling,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, I was taken to this space, was taken to this place that was more vivid than any dream or any experience I've ever had. I was on an island in a crystal city, like quartz on a quartz slab, and I was among these angelic star beings. They had like white, shimmery, almost opalescent skin, and there were a couple hundred of us, and we were singing in this choir, and I was leading the choir. We were wrapped around in a half circle, singing towards the ocean in this like cove. There were mountains in between us, and these humpback whales came and swam up and joined us in song.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back out of the experience, and again, I just started bawling because I knew that at this point, this was many years past,
Mm-hmm.
um, first birthing my love of the whales in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been studying Lemuria and
Mm-hmm.
ancient civilizations and
Mm-hmm.
these topics for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had this 100% realization and inner knowing that all of this was true and
Mm-hmm.
that this was my lifetime, or sorry, this was my family
Mm-hmm.
in that lifetime. So
Mm-hmm.
I had this like um just confirmation and dissolving of any um bit of uncertainty that I
Mm-hmm.
might have had. And also, yeah, just this feeling of this longing and this almost loneliness of
Mm-hmm.
being separated from them. And
Mm-hmm.
from that experience, it was like a before and after. Like I had been singing for 13 years and I was so incredibly shy, but I loved it. And then after that experience, not only did my voice open up and I'm now singing and in front of like hundreds of people and helping people with vocal activations
Mm-hmm.
and these different things, but it also gave me that permission to fully step into who I am and
Yes.
yeah, not really care what people think. If they don't
Yes.
fit, then that's fine, that they're on a different path, they're on a different timeline. And
Mm-hmm.
it just makes me so much more passionate to help others remember.
Absolutely. And what you said there is so important that once you have an experience of absolute certainty and knowing and remembrance who you are, what your soul essence is, then your life changes. And then the old knowledge and the gifts, the divine gifts that are within you from your soul lineage open up. And then you can step out and actually practice that, like you said. And I think a lot of us star beings, we're shy. We have so many talents. We have so many things that we can draw from our old memories. And once it comes through and we know, yes, this is who we are, we can let it out and actually start to live our purpose now. Because you said, like, the first thing you felt was lonely, that you're cut off from your star lineage, right? From your soul family. And a lot of star seeds, and I know a lot of you out there who are listening feel the same. You feel lonely. You feel like no one is like you, because a lot of people around us, they have not awakened at all, or they're not even star seeds. So it's one attribute of the star seed, that feeling of loneliness and being cut off. That's why these experiences of remembrance are so important, because it opens us up to understand who we are and to connect with our soul family so we don't feel alone. And then we can really truly start to step into our purpose. And it's such a beautiful thing for me as well, the slow remembering of who I am. And I'm a different generation. I'm another generation than you, right? So when I grew up, there was nothing at all about star seeds, spirituality, nothing. Like, we didn't know anything about that stuff. We were just very third dimensional. So the inner knowing that I was different was there, but I had no idea how to translate that, you know? And memories came up and I had no idea. So it was only recently, in the last 10 years, that these themes have come up, that I was able to understand how I am different, and that I was able to really get those little breadcrumbs that you said, the little breadcrumbs of information, of signs that help me understand who I am. And like you, I'm also an animal blueprint, right? I'm also a cosmic whale from a parallel dimension. Hence, that's the cosmic whale. Um, and for me, also animals are really, really important because it's something interesting, Aishra. I work with a lot of different people. Like I do readings because I work with the Akashic records directly, right? I'm an Akashic records reader and healer, so I go directly into the soul record of someone I'm working with, and I read and I see everything that's there. And that's also very typical of the whale blueprint. The whales are Akashic record keepers. They're the keepers of wisdom, of deep wisdom. And I find that people I work with who are animal blueprints are a little bit different, right? We animal blueprints of origin, we have less of an ego. We have less of these problematic things, the voices, the ego, the problems that normal humans have. So I feel that we as animal blueprints have a direct connection to spirit. We are more ourselves. We remember easier because animals don't have an ego, right? And the animals are fifth dimensional. So especially you and me both being whale blueprints from a parallel dimension makes it perhaps easier for us to trust and tap into these spiritual experiences. So a lot of you out there who are listening, I wouldn't be surprised if you also are animal blueprints, because animal blueprints really, really have that easier opening and connection to who they are at soul level. So I find it so interesting how parallel our lives were. Going into the direction of animals, me working with animals. Every day, animals give me signs. Birds fly into my room and fly around me and give me signs. And one of the things that is very important for every starseed to learn and understand and to open up to is that communication to spirit, that direct connection to your own Akashic record. And everybody can do this and learn this. So I know some of you are there thinking, oh my goodness, these experiences, I haven't had that. Why not? It's so difficult. And I'm telling you, no, we are not different than you. Every single one of you has the capacity for deep remembrance, to connect to your soul essence, to start communicating with spirit, right? It is possible through the breadcrumbs and through specific rituals and experiences. And now I want to kind of go into one experience that is happening that is something so special and amazing. And that's also why I have Aishra here, because Aishra, you have already done one of these amazing experiences in form of a retreat to help people remember, right? So you recently did a beautiful, like when I heard about this, I was like, wow, I've never heard about anything like this. You talked about that you work with whales directly. That means you have worked with whales and you have actually gone into the water and swum with the whales in the wild and connected to them. And tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So I am really living my soul's dharma in such an incredible way. I'm so grateful. So I've created these retreats called Ancient Souls Remembrance Retreats.
Mhm,
And they are retreats with the intention of curating this safe space for starseeds to come and learn and about ancient wisdom and connect with these sacred islands
mhm,
that are also connected to Lemuria, like
mhm,
Hawaii and the French Polynesian Islands, and also connect with the dolphins and the whales.
mhm,
And some of the things that we go over in these retreats is, again, we talk about the islands, their connection to Lemuria. What is Lemuria? what are star seeds, what are star lineages,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and how the star lineages seeded Lemuria. We talk about
Yes.
the connection
Yes.
between the whales and dolphins and
Mm-hmm.
certain star lineages.
Mm-hmm.
The Akashic records, what are they? How they're also connected to the humpback whales. We have past life regressions. We have other beautiful experiences to help us connect to our voice. We have vocal activations, and
Mm-hmm.
we're channeling the Akashic records through our voice. We go out and we connect with the whales and dolphins in a unique way. So these are not your everyday whale watching tours. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a heart coherence, heart opening meditation. We all sync up with the same vibration, the same thoughts, and connect with them through telepathy and sound. And
Mm-hmm.
this combination really calls the whales in and the dolphins in.
Wow.
And yeah, in certain areas, we're able to swim with different species.
In the water, swim with them like in the open ocean, face to
Yeah,
face, right? I mean, I'd never really heard that you could even do this before I met you. So I bet a lot of you watching are like, what is this possible? You actually physically did a retreat? Like what you're talking about is an experience that you actually physically did.
yeah,
It sounds amazing.
yeah, this past Hawaii in or this past February in Hawaii. So February is like peak whale season.
Hmm.
So we go and we're able to connect with the humpback whales and see them from the boat and have these really profound experiences just from the boat alone. Like it's
Hmm.
moving, but we're able to swim with the non-spinner dolphins, the pilot whales, and the whale sharks, which are filter feeders
Hmm.
also. And
Hmm.
then in the French Polynesian Islands every October, which is the retreat we're kind of focused on today because it's
This
very,
October, my friends, listen up. This is like interesting for you. So this October, you're saying, oh, no, 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 this is important. So
yeah,
this is something that actually will take place this October, right?
where Natasha
Okay.
will be there teaching many beautiful offerings, and we'll be able to swim up close with humpback
Hmm.
whales.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
And it's a profound experience of being in the water with the Akashic record holders,
Hmm.
seeing their beauty, their power, but their softness and
Hmm.
grace. Yeah. It's,
Wow.
mm,
Wow. So, I mean, I think this is one of the most unique and high vibrational experiences that you can have, especially in the French Polynesian Islands. You did one in Hawaii, but the French Polynesian Islands, I mean, for me, that is the center of Lemuria, the old Lemurian continent, what is still left on land over the water that has not sunk.
this
And
the
and
French
you were
Polynesian.
there already. You were there to check it. Oh, that's where it is to check it out. And I mean, what did you feel? What did that feel like?
Yes. So I had already been to Hawaii before going to the French Polynesian Islands. And I going to Hawaii, like I say this because Hawaii is also connected to Lemuria
Yeah.
as well.
Hmm.
And where the French Polynesian Islands are, if you have Hawaii, New Zealand, and Easter Island that make a
Hmm.
triangle, French Polynesian Islands are in the center.
Hmm.
So the land of Mu and Lemuria was like that whole area and some of California. There was a huge like land mass, and yeah, so just seeing the French Polynesian Islands, if you look them up, if you search Bora Bora specifically for me,
Hmm. Hmm.
I was just so deeply moved emotionally from just seeing them. And just from photos, like I could see faces in the mountains. I could see these hobbit home doorway
Hmm.
entry shapes. Um, and then finally being there, it was surreal. It's like you can feel the energy of um just deep peace
Mhm.
on the island, but you can feel its power as well. The
Mhm.
locals are some of the most friendly people that I've ever encountered. Um, and again, there's something about the mountains. Like I saw pyramids in the
Mhm.
mountains as well, crystal
Wow.
clear shapes of pyramids that are covered in grass.
Mhm.
Um, yeah,
Wow.
it's heaven,
Amazing.
really heaven.
Amazing. And as you're talking, I mean, we star seeds, okay, all of you as well, most of you, we want the best experience on earth, and a lot of us have incarnated in Mu. A lot of us are old souls with incarnations in Lemuria. And as you're talking, like I can feel it. I'm there, and the memories I have, and when I've worked with clients as well, the energy just completely fits. And just that picture behind you and what I've seen is exactly what I have channeled in visions of Lemuria.
Mm.
It's exactly the same energy.
Mhm.
So and from all the work that I've done from different eras on Earth, I think Lemuria is the most magical, the most deep, the most significant of them all, because Lemuria is when humanity actually came and started to incarnate. Like for me, the Earth Mother Gaia is a living being that brings forth divine blueprints as her children. And the divine human blueprint was born in Lemuria. So it is the birthplace of humanity. And we know that Lemuria, the physical divine human blueprint, was seeded from Lyra. The constellation of Lyra is one of the oldest star systems in our galaxy. And from my frame of reference, from what I've seen and channeled, that is where the divine human blueprint first was created, and then seeded with the physical DNA, seeded different star systems, the Pleiades, Hadar, um, Orion, and Earth, right? So us who actually incarnated in Lemuria and had lifetimes there, we are some of the original physical DNA blueprints. And looking at you, the red hair, I mentioned that before, the red hair is actually, and the energy that you hold, Aishra, is very typical for a Lyran Lemurian blueprint. Did you know that? It's really interesting.
So
So yeah, and for example, for me, I am cosmic will blueprint, but my main expression is Pleiadian. So after being in the parallel dimensions, actually, the Pleiades is my home in this galaxy.
mm,
And everyone who came to Lemuria from different places seeded the divine human blueprint from the Pleiades, from Hadar, from Sirius, from Orion. So it is kind of the birthplace of what Earth is today, what makes it today. And I feel that's when the blueprint solidified in the third dimensional form. So I feel that Lemuria and the French Polynesian Islands is like the birthplace of humanity. So it is something so I'm getting the chills when I'm talking about this. This is something that actually every starseed should see and feel and experience. Right?
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you want to briefly talk about maybe some attributes of like how people could know that they're a starseed, like a couple
Mm-hmm.
characteristics of
Mm-hmm.
starseed, or
Mm-hmm.
know that
Yes.
they have Lemurian connections?
Yes. Well, the thing is this, star seeds and earther souls, I feel are very, very different, right? Earther souls are souls who incarnated first on earth. They're younger souls. And usually they are more like the normal people who live their lives, who don't really they're not really that interested. Listen, if you're even interested in star seeds, then you're a star seed, right? I've worked with a lot of people, and a few people came to me to get soul readings, and they said, I don't care about the star seed stuff. Just tell me my divine gifts and all that. And they were earther souls. So earther souls don't look to the stars, they look down, right? They look down, they're interested in working, having a family, living their lives, having their little house. And they're usually what we say more third dimensional, very stable people, kind of like In Lord of the Rings, the hobbits, like they are the earther souls, right? They smoke their pipe and they don't want any of that weird stuff. But as a star seed, you know that you're different. You are awake. You have an opening to spirit. You have certain psychic experiences. You just know things. And you feel different. You don't feel like the rest. You feel driven. You have a mission and a purpose. You have a high quotient of light. You go through different transformations, and you always have that feeling that there is more than just the third dimension. There is more than just what we see in front of us. Like starseeds always throughout their lives have their gatekeeper open doors for them to remember who they are in different ways. Some perhaps even an experience in a church, you know, others through dreams, others through visions, others looking at the stars. Like the star seeds, often they look at the stars and they love the stars so much. It's like, wow, I love the stars. I've always loved the stars. I look up and I was always like so drawn towards the stars. That's another example. Certain abilities, certain knowingnesses, telepathy, feeling really drawn to fairies, to stories, to fantasy, to animals. Like there's so many attributes. It's hard to express. Does that make sense so far?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And yeah, so to touch on Lemuria, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
We talked a bit about how it's
Okay.
an ancient civilization, one of the first civilizations,
Mm-hmm.
and um,
Yes.
it was a space of harmony, unity. It was very spiritually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was before Atlantis and existed a bit
Yes.
during Atlantis as well, and it was more
Yes.
feminine and emotionally advanced. Atlantis
Absolutely.
was more of a masculine
Mm-hmm.
energy and technologically
Mm-hmm.
advanced.
Mm-hmm.
You can have connections to both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially as old souls too. Um, yeah.
Yes. No, absolutely. You're right. Lemuria, if you think about the birthplace of humanity, that's a very female kind of nourishing, fertile, high vibrational concept. And Lemuria was like that too. Lemuria was the birthplace of the divine human blueprint. So Lemuria was very high vibrational. I feel it was like this. I feel that, first of all, Lemuria was a space of fifth or sixth dimension, like not the third dimension. And I feel that the human blueprint hadn't consolidated yet. It was more in etheric, energetic form, very high vibrational. And I feel Lemuria brought down this energy into the third dimension. But often people say the third dimension is bad, but no, no, no. The third dimension is a very solid, consolidating dimension where physical form becomes its most dense, and it's beautiful. That's the beginning. And I feel Lemuria came down and consolidated through magic and through ancient priests and priestesses as starseeds coming down together with the blueprint creators, consolidated humanity and also animal blueprints into the third dimension. But it was a high vibrational positive third dimension, I feel, without the negativity. And I
Mhm.
feel then Lemuria again actually ascended. I think it was a very, very long lived civilization over hundreds and thousands of years, really. Like not 10,000, hundreds of thousands of years. And I feel the evolution was, I feel ascension took place. The ascension from 3D to 5D already took place in Lemuria. And it should have continued. It should have continued, I feel. But the negative influences of negative beings came and brought it back down again. So I feel that kind of is the story of Lemuria.
Mhm.
So Lemurian beings, us as well, of course, counting us and you who are watching, um, are like very, like we hold ancient magic. We hold ancient magic. We hold the codes of life. We really do. We easily access the Akashic records. We have a very nourishing, high vibrational, magical energy. That is the energy of Lemuria, I feel, right?
Hey, yeah. Do you want to touch on the Akashic records? And it's something that I realized, like, the more that I study it and the
Mm-hmm.
more that I do these like guided journeys, I realize that I've been kind of accessing the Akashic records for a long time through
Mm-hmm.
intuition.
Yes, yes, absolutely. The thing is, you being a cosmic whale being are an Akashic Records keeper automatically, anyways. But every single person has access to their own Akashic record. Because the thing is, I see the Akashic Records like this. The Akashic Records are basically a vibrational library of all that is. Everything in existence is written there. And others call it the Book of Life. And it exists in the eighth dimension, okay, a very high dimension. But the thing is this, you access your own Akashic record through your heart. Like you don't even need any techniques, you don't need any to learn anything, like you said, through intuition and through going deeper in your heart. I see it like this: you go deeper into your heart, into inner knowledge, into remembrance. And the deeper you go within, the it's kind of like a portal. The heart is the portal to this knowledge. And you go in and you go smaller, but then it expands. Within your heart, you go and you expand and you're able to access the higher dimensions. So you go within, and as you're going smaller, you're going larger, right? It's kind of inverse. That's how I see it. And then you're able to access that eighth dimension through your heart and the knowledge of everything that you have lived, right? The knowledge of who you are. And as intuitive awakening beings, we intuitively get that, and that information flows, through the journey of our spiritual mastery, through our awakening, through allowing, ourselves to trust what we're feeling. That's the thing. And again, as animal blueprints feel through the heart. They don't have this logical mind as an obstruction. Often, the logical mind, no, this is all rubbish. What are we talking about? Lemuria, no, starseeds, that's crazy, right? We're brought up that way. And the mind often blocks us from trusting what comes up through the heart. And animal blueprints, we do it a little bit easier, right? It's really true. The mind is easier removed and we trust our hearts more. Not that, all starseeds can do that, but just as a side note. So this remembrance and this accessing of your own Akashic record is available for everyone. Now, if you want to start to work with the Akashic records, it is a path of study, of knowledge, of practice, with certain initiations that can initiate you to really go there through visions, through certain methods. And I learned these methods, right? To go in to this vibrational library and to access another person's Akashic record, or Mother Gaia's Akashic record, or Arcturus's Akashic record, right? So that way it's possible to open and to see and to channel the information of everything in the cosmos. Like the Akashic records is the key to knowledge of the cosmos. And that's what's so fascinating. Like it never stops. Like the deepening and the knowing never stops. So working with the Akashic records and starting to understand them and read them, you can do it through intuition, but also, through learning certain techniques or through certain initiations, right? And in this retreat that you're talking about, we're going to do an initiation for everyone who comes to really start to open up and access your own and the cosmos's Akashic record, right?
Yes, I'm so excited. Natasha is going to be teaching about the Akashic records and their whale connection, as well as leading a group past life regression.
Of remembrance, to open the remembrance. Yeah,
Amazing.
exactly.
Yeah, so also on the retreat, we talked about how we would have experiences with the humpback whales. That's going to be 5 days of 5-hour private boat trips to be with the whales. The French Polynesian Islands is one of the only places that you can swim with humpback whales in this way. It's
Mhm.
a marine sanctuary, and we go out with professional guides and divers, and we're doing it in a safe, respectful way.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the whales actually come up to us, and they're very playful and curious, but also extremely aware of their self, of their size. They're
Mhm.
very graceful, and their movements are fairly slow. It's like they're floating in the water. When you're in the water with them, for me at least, it feels like you're in space.
Mm.
It's like you're in a whole
Wow.
other world.
Mhm.
Mm.
Wow. I
Mhm.
can't wait. It's so exciting. I've never been to the French Polynesian Islands or swum with whales. So for me, it's like a dream come true. It's everything that I am has led up to this point of this experience. That's seriously how I feel. It sounds so magical. And I mean, you
I
who are
think
watching, um, it's possible for you to join us as well because
yes.
it's an open retreat. It's
Yeah,
still open, right?
we're halfway full, but we still have
Mhm.
space. It's 2 weeks long. There's the option to come for 1 or 2 weeks. And these dates are the 16th through the 22nd of 2023 and the 23rd through the 29th of
Mhm.
2023 also.
Mhm.
We have other experiences. We're going to have meditations, again, a vocal activation, a humpback heart healing ceremony, a movement medicine class, an ancestral and inner child connection and healing guided experience.
Beautiful.
We're going to journey into the heart of the island of Moorea, into the forest and visit ancient temples and connect with the fairies. And
Ooh.
yeah, that one I'm very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And connect with the local Polynesian culture and go to one of their experiences where they will be sharing the traditions of their culture through movement and dance. At fire spinning, which is one of the places fire spinning originated.
Ah.
It's yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's deeply
Mm-hmm.
moving. If you feel connected to this culture, because of your Lemurian connection, when you connect the locals and watch the way that they express, for me personally, it was very moving. I
Mm-hmm.
cried a couple times.
You do
Uh,
fire spinning too, don't you?
yeah, so that's another, there are other things as on the topic of like remembrance
Mm-hmm.
and resonance.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the first time that I ever saw someone spinning fire, that was like, was it 13 or so years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I immediately fell in love, and I was like, what is that? I want to do that. And I started learning right away, and now I am a professional fire performer. I've been a professional fire performer for about 10 years, traveling
Wow.
around the world and
Mm-hmm.
just sharing art in that way, and also studying belly dance. And that's something that kind of originated from, or not the belly dance necessarily, but it's closely related to hula dance, um,
Yes.
which you can trace back to like Tahitian dancing, which they
Mm-hmm.
will be doing some Tahitian dancing.
I do
Um,
belly dance too, by the way. I've done that for the last 20
really?
years.
I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah.
What?
Absolutely. Yeah. One
That's
of my
so,
favorite things.
yeah. So for me, when I was watching the show specifically, it was like oh, like this is why I resonated so deeply with these things,
Mm-hmm.
is because
Mm-hmm.
I resonate with this culture.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the kind of food that I'm drawn to eat,
Mm-hmm.
the environment that I'm drawn to live in, the climate, like everything
Mm-hmm.
about it, like it's home. Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. That's so beautiful. And I mean, for you beautiful Starseed family who are watching,
Hmm.
if you are feeling, some resonance, if you're getting some little aha moments, check it out. Check it out. And see if you want to join us on this retreat. It's your chance. I think it's like a chance of a lifetime. And the transformation and the initiation that that can bring about, like I can't wait to come there and experience that, because what you're saying about that feeling of home, I'm right now in the Dominican Republic, and for me this is home already. Like this is a tropical island, a little bit, it's different but a little bit similar. But what you are saying, and I mean, many people that I know who have heard about Tahiti, um, South Sea, French Polynesian Islands, all that, like there is a magic about it that a lot of people are like, wow. And I feel it's because a lot of us have been there and stem from there. So if you are feeling some resonance, like some spark there, you know, you may well be an ancient Lemurian soul. So this is a beautiful chance, I think, to come and see.
It is. It's going to
Hmm.
be an unforgettable experience,
Hmm.
a deep transformation, with this last retreat in Hawaii. It was truly like a reunion of souls. There
Hmm.
were many of us, I would say most of us were meeting for the first time in this lifetime,
Hmm.
but we immediately felt so comfortable together
Hmm.
and yeah, such deep resonance. And when you come into these spaces that are intentionally curated, there's only 10 spaces per week for the
Hmm. Hmm.
Polynesian, so it's intimate,
Hmm.
but it's people who get each other.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it, yeah, provides a space where you can just, you see into each other and you're like, wow, like I see myself in you and
Hmm.
you remind me of who I am.
Hmm.
And yeah, it gives people like this permission slip to just have these organic
Hmm.
remembrances that flow
Hmm.
through. And I curated this experience with the intention and the hope, but not like holding on to expectations, but with the intention of people having healing experiences, emotional
Hmm.
releases, remembrances, and the amount, the frequency, um, was very surprising to me. Like multiple people, multiple times a day, having these huge breakthroughs.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that was so fulfilling. It filled my cup
Beautiful.
after I
Yeah.
had a year just pouring so much
Hmm.
into
Hmm.
this experience.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I'm so excited
Wonderful.
to just join everyone
Hmm.
in this gorgeous space. So
That's so beautiful. I want to say, and thank you, like, for creating this. I've
mhm.
never heard of anything like this, and I really feel that you're doing an amazing, amazing job. And in my eyes, you're so young. You're so young, and you're already creating this high vibrational, magical experience for high vibrational ascending star seeds. That it sounds like a very difficult thing to do. I mean, it's a lot of organization and planning, but I think it's meant to be. It's just who you are, bringing these people together in remembrance. And thank you for doing that. I'm so, so, so excited. And thank you for inviting me to be part of it. I feel so honored that you asked me to come and participate as a space holder, as a teacher, in that capacity. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait
Yeah,
to
thank
come.
you for that recognition. It has been so much. Like
Mm.
I've put more into this than anything else I've ever done in my
Hmm.
life, and
Hmm.
it's so worth it because
Hmm.
it's what I've always wanted, and
Hmm.
I've always followed my heart, and it's all I know how to do. And then once beginning this work, it's like it's so much, but I can't envision doing anything else. And
Yeah.
throughout time, it gets easier and easier and more in
Hmm.
flow.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm just so grateful that you said yes to this experience because as as soon as I discovered you, found you, saw your videos, there was again that deep resonance.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
um, yeah, the more I learn about you every single day, I learn like at least two new things that were parallels just in this
Yeah.
conversation alone.
Yeah.
It's another kind of reminder of following what resonates,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you'll find it's even deeper, like in alignment. So
Hmm.
yeah, so
Hmm.
grateful to have you.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Thank you. Wow, I think this was a very interesting conversation. Um, yeah, and I feel that those of you who feel drawn to this, I'm going to leave a link below this video so you can check out that retreat and see if it resonates with you and see if you're part of that soul family that we're going to bring together, because it is a bringing together of old souls. That's truly what I feel it's going to be. And I'm already feeling this. I'm feeling it already. Hmm.
Definitely, yeah. And it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. On this last retreat, there were some people that knew what Lemuria was and
Hmm.
Starlight is and all of
Hmm.
these things. And there were people that it was totally new to
Hmm.
them. And they knew, like, I don't know why, I just know that I'm meant to be there. And they
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
they didn't even look at the schedule. They were like, I just know and I just
It's like,
trust. And
yes.
they had like multiple past life remembrances and like these huge breakthroughs.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter where you are on your
Hmm.
journey. This is open to men, women, couples,
Hmm. Hmm.
anyone, any color, race, ethnicity.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
connect with the locals, and we also give back to the Pacific Whale Foundation that helps to go back to
Hmm.
protecting the whales, the ocean, the
Hmm.
earth.
That's important too.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it is a mystery school, so of course it's a
Yes. Yes.
beautiful experience, but it's a mystery school. We'll have these deep classes that are soulful, guided experiences, meditations, but also fun, interactive experiences, and you'll get a certificate of graduation and completion at the end.
Amazing. Beautiful. Yeah, so my beautiful children of the stars, I can't wait to see you there. So I'm inviting you specifically to come and meet me and Aishra and the ancient call of your soul right there in Lemuria. Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Well, thank you so, so much for coming and talking about this. Um, it's been really beautiful talking to you. And yeah, and maybe we'll see you in another video in a little bit,
Yeah,
because I want to talk about a couple more things with you, okay,
amazing.
in the future for the public.
Thank you so much. And also, if you have just general questions, to feel free
Mhm.
to reach out and email us.
Absolutely, you'll find everything below.
Thank
Okay. Thank you,
you.
everybody. Much love, and I'll see you soon. Bye.